is up, man? What is going on, man? We back and black in the building. Man, what is going on? Shout out to everybody out there. Johnny, Erica, Tasha, Mariah. Hey, man, if y'all in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's getting hot as motherfucker out here now. Nigga went from allergies to straight heat. God damn. But anyway, it's all good. You know the motherfucking power bill's gonna be high than the motherfucker. You know how niggas be. Niggas don't say, turn on the air conditioning. Y'all take a guess what niggas say. Niggas say, hey nigga, cut the air off. Oh man, I was at a bar, man. Had a few beers, and I was like, hey man, y'all niggas need to cut the air on in this motherfucker. But anyway, man, shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to everybody that's handling business and doing what they need to do to survive. You already know what the fuck it is. You know what it ain't. I am your gracious, broke ass host who's trying to figure out a way every day how to get away from the goddamn corporate plantation. Because this shit ain't no joke at all. Man, we gonna do some talking, man. We gonna get it in real quick because I got shit to do. I'm plotting and planning. I just gotta figure out something, but I'm not gonna say nothing about it. But I'm just gonna add something different to the podcast and shit too. You know what I'm saying? I'm just plotting and planning, and I'm gonna go old school. Shawnee, you remember old school when I used to just. Shawnee remember when she watch it, she'll be like, yeah, I remember when this nigga used to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna do raw and uncut. You know what I'm saying? And just give my perspective. So I'm about to add that to the podcast shit too. Man, shout out to everybody at the Core Plantation that's not telling each other and handling business too. I got much love and respect. Shout out to the homegirls, LaTanya and Miss Tanya. I try to chop it up with them a lot, and we be talking about the Sambos and Coons and all this other shit. And we be having to talk about racism, white supremacy, and establishing the system of justice. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna get into that. We gonna also talk about your boy again, Joe Biden in the building, talking that, you know what I'm saying? Talking that, what did he say? Saying white supremacy is poison. I'm about to get on this motherfucker right now. So let's get into it. For real. All right, man, we got to get on Joe Biden, man. Joe 94 crime bill Biden. Theater. This is because they know they play to our theater sense. As my brother David from No Compromise has taught me, we don't like drama, Warren G. We like theater. And see, black folk love theater because it soothes something within us. And this is theater. Nigga, you are a part of racism, white supremacy. You won't mention reparations. You got on the House floor and said, why the hell should I be penalized for what my ancestors did? I wasn't there for that. But you're a direct beneficiary of that, of what your ancestors did to my ancestors. You are a direct beneficiary. You're benefiting from it because you didn't build this country. I mean, it's so funny how, you know what I have learned? And I'm going to put this shit out here now, and I ain't trying to offend nobody, but you know what I've learned? I have learned that when you're talking to the dominant society, the majority of them, they don't read no books. They don't know what the fuck going on. They just going off what somebody done told them or a couple of experiences that they had. You know, I was having a conversation with somebody, and they was like, you know, the indigenous people were Native Americans, so-called Native Americans. If you read the book called They Came Before Columbus, we were already here. You know, they always want to go to the transatlantic slave trade because y'all done transported millions and millions of people. Stop. People are already here. Christopher Columbus already discovered that. And when you talk to the dominant society, they are real quick to be like, oh, well, there are Europeans that helped build this country too. I said, well, give me one book and name me one European that was responsible in the 14, 15, 1600s to build this country. Where are they all at? Because there are books and documented history of all the wonderful things that foundational black Americans built and contributed to this country and the infrastructure of this country. It's so funny, man. And I didn't even go real deep. I didn't even start bringing up like stolen legacy and ancient and modern Britons and bringing up, man, I wasn't even bringing that up. I just was like, so give me the books. I would love to see because a lot of motherfuckers don't read shit. And then when you start challenging them, they start talking about, oh, well, I don't really, well, no, you don't really know. You know what I mean? And I only know a little bit, but the shit that I do know, I just was like, nah, that's not making sense. That's why we have people like Reverend Al Sharpton, and, with a Rottweiler head on a Chihuahua body. You have people like him coming out because of that mass shooting and having his shit to say. But the thing about it is it's like, when is it going to be a black person that just come out and say, hey, man, this is racism, white supremacy. We've been dealing with this, and we're going to continue to do it until we demand reparations. We demand justice. We demand changing the system of racism, white supremacy, and establishing a system of justice. When people try to question me like, well, what are you doing? Establishing a system of justice. How are you doing that? Studying, reading, putting family members on the game. Whatever I learn, I'll try to give motherfuckers the game. It's called Each One Teach 21. So when you learn the stock game a little bit, you put people on. When you learn about life insurance policies and stuff like that, you put people on. And they were like, oh, okay. And I was like, yeah. And I had a conversation with, some of my other peoples. And, we was talking. I said, when's the last time you saw white people doing a car wash because little Timmy got killed? Because they already have life insurance policies. It's called generational wealth. Now, y'all can either listen to me or y'all don't listen. But let me tell you, that's how generational wealth is passed down. See, white people have been socialized even in death. You'll still be talking about them because you'll be reaping the benefits of how they have placed themselves in a position where they can pass down that generational wealth. See, we don't think that way. We think in the way of, fuck it, I ain't gonna be here, so fuck these motherfuckers. No. You might want to have a different approach when it comes to things. And the reason why I say that is because, perception is people's reality. Just because you think somebody got it going on don't mean they do. And just because you think somebody does not have it going on don't mean they do have it going on. But that's their lane. And this is not about arguing with these so-called Democrats. This is about looking at the theater, as our brother David from No Compromise talks about. Joe Biden, stop. You are the architect behind the 94 crime bill. And you didn't even want to apologize to Charlamagne the God on the Breakfast Club about it. You deflected White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo and blamed it on black people and said black people wanted it. Instead of saying, you know what, whether black people wanted it or not, I was in charge. It does not look right. I am white, and that looks like the central location of racism, white supremacy. And I do apologize. In my next, run or whatever, I'm going to do whatever I can to make it up, starting with reparations. No, you ain't say that. You act like that shit don't even exist. And then when your ass don't win, then guess what? At first, they're going to try to divide and conquer and turn other black people against other black people and all this other stuff. Fuck them coons and Sambos and mammies. Fuck them. That's the problem. That's why in the Haitian Revolution, McIndoll and them was like, we got to kill these motherfuckers first. Because these niggas is bullshit. So let's just get rid of them first. And, when I see that at the corporate plantation, I just be like, look at this so Sambo-ass motherfucker. Look, let me tell you something, man. I've worked for Sambos. I would just rather have a dominant society person as the supervisor or whatever the fuck they want to call it. Because, the dominant society is really good at framing that picture that you're no one if you don't have a title within our society. They good at that shit. I'm telling you, it will fuck you up. It will fuck you up. And I just be like, man, fuck y'all titles. What the fuck? A job is what you do. It's not who you are. You could be you could be a great worker and be a complete asshole when you're not on that job. Where the fuck don't nobody want to be bothered with you. All you doing is being a great actor. That's all everybody's doing when they're at the corporate plantation, for the most part. Even the dominant society people, because what they really want to say is, fuck them niggas. Let's just hire a whole bunch of white people. And they do for the most part. Just take a look around at your corporate plantation. You think Joe Biden really cares about racism and white supremacy? He cares to maintain it. Show me different. Look around at your corporate plantations of 2022, and you tell me how many black folk, I'm talking about foundational black Americans. I'm not talking about immigrants. I'm not talking about first gen and, their lineage traces back to Jamaica or Haiti or St. Lucia no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about foundational black Americans. How many of them are running these major corporations out here in the United States of America? Incorporated. None. But I can take you on Las Vegas Boulevard and Owens, and I can get one white person, get him a shave, take a bath, give him a decent resume, and that nigga will be your supervisor, and it will be doing black tar heroin in the bathroom at every break. And you motherfuckers thinking this is just a joke. I've seen it where a white person just a straight dope fiend out of their motherfucking mind, and ain't nobody saying shit. I remember I worked with one dope fiend. This motherfucker was just sleep. I mean, just sleep the whole time. I was like, God damn, ain't nobody gonna say nothing to this motherfucker. And he would always bring it on his illness or blame it on some bullshit. And I just be like, wow. Niggas is not getting away with that shit. That's why when you come among us, we gonna question. We gonna play 21 questions like 50 Cent. What the fuck you doing over here? You know what I'm saying? You have to be vetted out by the person that you dealing with. You got other friends and you talking about real politics and all this other stuff. There ain't nothing wrong with speaking with other racial groups. There ain't nothing wrong with other racial groups having pride in their race and doing that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to tell you right now, you better have pride in your own self before you have pride in everybody else's shit. You start going around other people's family. If your family's fucked up, clean that shit up first. And if you can't clean that shit up, just be by yourself. Stop trying to fill a void and go around other people's family. I don't do that shit. See, my family's fucked up, so I don't need to go around nobody else's family and take on those demons and that energy. I'll just keep doing what I've been doing. I don't believe in that. See, that's living in the matrix. See, you want to be in that chair plugged in the whole fucking time, living in an imaginary world. So you can have an imaginary everything. No, nigga, you better come back to the world, come back to real life, and understand, jack out of that system, get off Instagram, get off Twitter, get off Facebook, get off all these social media platforms and the metaverse and all this bullshit. Man, I wish I would. Man, fuck you and that virtual reality bullshit. Stop and come into the real goddamn world. Stop with the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We got to understand that. Understand, Joe Biden don't give a fuck about no niggas. Yeah, let me see if I can play it. I'm just going to play a snippet. Because, this motherfucker senile, but he ain't too senile to know what racism and white supremacy is. He know how to stay on code with that shit like a motherfucker. And that's what we must all possess, is a code of conduct and know what the fuck it is. Go read Neely Fuller Jr. book, The Compensatory Counter-Racist Code. Go read that book. It's a fucking great book. It's awesome. It's going to break down a lot of shit that I didn't know. After I read that book, I was like, okay. And I started using some of the shit in the book. Like, you get around a dominant society, start the conversation off with a question. They don't like that shit. I love it.
Mass shootings in Charleston, South Carolina, El Paso, Texas, and Pittsburgh. Last year in Atlanta, this week in Dallas, Texas, and now in Buffalo, New York. White supremacy is a poison. It's a poison running through it. It really is.
And you are the anchor, the engine, the wielder behind that fire of racism, white supremacy, Joe Biden. Stop. Stop it with the bullshit. You invented the greatest bill to destroy black folk in the United States of America's history. That was like slavery 2.0. Oh, we'll just throw these niggas in jail. Fuck it. Hey, man, so do you feel bad about that bill that you created, that you were the architect behind? Well, no, the black people came to me. They wanted it. Man, get the fuck out of here. Stop. So you mean to tell me if white Jewish people came to you and said, hey, man, I want a bill, start throwing these white Jewish people in prison because of how they're treating other racial groups, you wouldn't, because first of all, the white Jewish community is not going to go to you and say that. Second of all, you're not going to implement that bill. But only when you're dealing with black folk in the United States of America Incorporated, it's a problem.
Running through our body politic. And it's been allowed to fester and grow right in front of our eyes. No more. I mean, no more. We need to say as clearly and forcefully as we can that the ideology of white supremacy has no place in America. None.
Man, get the fuck out of here.
And look, failure for us to not say that, failure in saying that is going to be complicity. Silence is complicity. It's complicity. We cannot remain silent. Our nation's strength has always come from the idea.
All right, I can't even listen to no more. This motherfucker's so full of shit. Go research the 94 crime bill, and then you tell me if he's for racism, white supremacy, or if he's for black folk. You notice he ain't say black people at all. You notice he ain't talk nothing about how black people are treated in this country. You notice he ain't said nothing about reparations, and you notice he hasn't said anything that would move the needle forward one iota that will embolden other racial groups to understand the plight of black folk and to be in favor of reparations so we can have our own nationhood, as our brother David from No Compromise talks about, man. Hey, man, that's my time. I went over. You already know what the fuck it is. Y'all know what it ain't. If y'all niggas is believing in this motherfucker, then y'all believing that Cesare Borgia is Jesus Christ. And I'll just leave with that. All you other Sambo coons and mammies, I don't fuck with you. Guilty, nigga. I'm out. Peace.